All right, everyone, welcome back to BJ's Fantasy Corner. We're going to the Super Bowl this coming week, or I guess not this coming weekend, next weekend. So we're going to have some more analysis next weekend, probably about all the stupid coach decisions that were made. So let's get into what happened last week, though, in the championship round. Tom Brady is the GOAT, and the referees help too. But Tom Brady's the GOAT. Even with 3 interceptions, they moved on to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers completely crapped the bed, if you ask me. They fell apart. I don't know what their coach was thinking. I did, however, make the right prediction on my sleeper pick, and I know Jimmy's going to give me crap for it. But Aaron Rodgers did throw an interception, and the reason why that's my sleeper pick was because he only threw 5 all year. He hadn't thrown any like in 10 weeks, so he was due, and he did throw one. But getting back to the game, it really seemed like it didn't really seem like the Tom Brady show. It seemed like the Tampa Bay defense show, which could really help them out against the Kansas City Chiefs coming up. What did you see though from the Green Bay Packers that was problematic, or what happened in the game that you saw kind of led to them losing?
Yeah, I think, like you said, I mean, if you can get Tom Brady to throw 3 interceptions, and I think all they got was 6 points off of that. I mean, and they were really good interceptions. At least the one I think was down inside the red zone. So I mean, they had a chance, and then for whatever reason, their offense just seemed to stall. I mean, they were pretty much unstoppable all year, and then um, they kind of ran into the buzzsaw of that Tampa Bay defense, which I mean they whooped on them during their meeting in the regular season as well. So I mean that Tampa defense is legit. I mean we already knew that with the run defense. They've done a lot better on the back end and the secondary. Um, yeah, like I said, everybody can give Tom Brady his flowers and all that, but it was the defense that carried him, just like the New England days. So more of the same for him.
Yeah, and it was very interesting to see that Aaron Jones got hurt in the middle of that game, and he was a non-factor. So then they had to lean on Jamal Williams and AJ Dillon to do the run game, which really didn't matter much because that Tampa defense is just such a good run stopping defense. But to see Aaron Rodgers not really get clicking with anyone, like Devontae Adams should have had 3 touchdown catches in that game. He only had 1. And that one was like a lucky catch too, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know if he was, I don't remember him being wide open, but he caught it. And it was just like, Alan Lazard was wide open on several plays where they could have scored. It's like he locked in on Devontae Adams and just didn't want to let him go. And that kind of proved deadly. But getting back to the coaching though, Matt LaFleur made, a terrible, terrible decision to kick a field goal on 4th and 1 when they're right near the goal line. I mean, you have the best quarterback in the league this year on your team. You got to go for it, right?
Yeah, that I mean, that's a head scratcher. I mean, not only do you have to go for it, but you're gonna kick a field goal and get the ball back to Brady. I don't remember how much time was left, 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah, I mean that it just seemed like he was waving the white flag, try to get it closer, help us out on the spread. I mean, other than that, like I get like so if you miss it, then yeah, then you're done. But if you make it, you're still in it.
Right.
And to kick a field goal there and like I said, give the ball back. I mean, I guess you have a chance at an onside again, but I mean, your odds have to go drastically down, kicking that field goal and then trying to get the ball back and scoring a touchdown.
Well, especially with how Tom Brady was playing. I mean, he was control. Oops, move my camera. He was controlling the game all day. Like he made those three bad interceptions. By the way, those were not even good. Those weren't
Right.
oops interceptions. Like 2 of them were punts basically, and then I guess the third one where it was off Mike Evans' hands was kind of not his fault, but he overthrew him a little bit. He had to jump high and it just touched his fingertips. Um, but yeah, I was surprised at the outcome. I thought, playing in cold weather, not that it really affects Tom Brady, but the other guys on the team all are used to playing in Florida. So cold weather is not something they're used to. But they came out with the win and they're going to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are making history hosting a Super Bowl in their home stadium. So not that there's really a home crowd to cheer them on. There'll be a lot of first responders and whoever wants to pay $12,000 a ticket to go to the game. But other than that, it's not going to be really that full. So let's move on to the next game, which is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. Um, No surprise here. I mean, I wanted to see a much better game, but it really was just an old school shellacking by Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelsey. When Patrick Mahomes throws for 325 yards, 290 of them were to Travis Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. That says everything right there. I mean, they're unstoppable. The three of them together, if they can keep together for the next 5-6 years, they might win 5 or 6 more Super Bowls. But what did you see, Jimmy, in that game that stood out to you, or that made you believe that Patrick Mahomes might really be the next great quarterback to play this league?
I mean, first I'd touch on the Bills. I mean, they just could not keep Josh Allen upright. And I don't know if I've seen the Chiefs defense be that dominant against an O line all season. They seem to be just in the backfield all day long. And Josh Allen, as much as we love him, he may take the worst sacks ever. I mean, like running back, like Hester style,
Yeah.
running backwards 20, 30 yards, flailing around, like just throw it away, take intentional grounding or take the sack, 5 yard sack, and kind of, go back. But to the Chiefs' point, yeah, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I know we kind of said, the GOAT versus the kid. I don't, nothing that he does, I would say surprises me anymore because
Yeah.
I just expect greatness from him.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's got that weird little YMCA basketball player jog that he does, and you're like, what's going on with this guy? Like, somebody said, yeah, don't fall for it. And it looks like his feet hurt. Now he'll run on you, he'll throw on you. Um, I just, even as good as that Tampa Bay defense is, I just don't think they can stop all the weapons that the Chiefs have.
Well, and keep in mind, last time they played back, I think in week 12, it was Tampa Bay lost 24 to 27 or 27-24 Kansas City. And that's the game that Tyreek Hill had 219 receiving yards in the first quarter. I mean, how that game wasn't like 55-0 at like third quarter just goes to show you that you can't count Tampa Bay out of any game because they will fight their way back. They will hold you down and make sure you can't get any more. Now, they gave up a lot of yards in that first quarter and the rest of the game, but they only scored 27 points. So, I mean, we could very well see something very similar to that this coming the next couple of weeks when we get to the Super Bowl. Um, but we'll see. I mean, again, I felt bad for Josh Allen because you're right. He took some really bad sacks. He couldn't stay upright. The last like play of the game, almost where he's not. I don't want to say last play of the game, but the last play like the fourth quarter that he got to do running back, and he took like a 35-yard sack, and then he threw the ball at the Chiefs defender, who then got pushed over by a Buffalo Bill. It was an ugly play all around, and it ended up being like an offset penalties, and just took the
Right.
sack. I mean, I was like, how are they gonna? And it took like 5 minutes for them to sort it out too, which was unbelievable. But all right, so if you want to talk about, you want to go with your stuff here. Green Bay is who we thought they were. I had a baby sleeper like my Joe Burrow pick. But I'll let you go ahead and discuss what you have written down here.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm sure anybody listening, they, they've seen every meme that we're throwing out. Our boy Rex Grossman has as many NFC Championship wins as Aaron Rodgers. That's right, just one.
One.
It's something that you don't think about because I mean, Rodgers is an MVP, candidate every year. It just doesn't seem that he ever gets um, the blame really when it comes to the Packers flaming out in the NFC Championship. Which, I mean, let's not say they're playing the Jags, 1-15 Jags in the NFC Championship. Obviously, it's going to be a great team they're facing, but they just have, besides when they had to beat the Bears. Besides that year, they just can't seem to get over the hump. I mean, he's got the same. Rodgers has the same record as Donovan McNabb. They're 1-4 in the NFC Championship, and everybody killed McNabb. Said he's choke artist, can't do anything. Um, and you don't really hear that from Rodgers at all. It's just, oh well, he never had a defense. All right, well, it's Tom Brady. Well, he didn't have a running game. It's always excuses for him. I mean, obviously, like I said, he's a great player, so that might be part of it. But it's just something that it's weird that you don't really see the criticism for him for all the Green Bay failures.
Well, and we kind of compiled a small list of all the quarterbacks in like NFC NFC history who still like won the NFC Championship game, and you look at these names and it's just like, well, that guy flamed out. The guy made the Super Bowl or one went to the Super Bowl and they lost because they were terrible, like Rex Grossman. And then the first one I saw, I don't know if you posted or someone posted, it said Tom Brady has won as many NFC championships as Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers,
right.
and I'm like, he's only been in the NFC for 1 year. That's terrible. But hey, it is what it is. They lost. It's Tampa Bay's time to try to win against Kansas City, and maybe they'll get some redemption this year. Um, yeah, I'm going through our notes here, and just we love the Chiefs, but it's just they're not the Chiefs. We love the Bills, but and Josh Allen, but they couldn't hang. And Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey could be serious problems for Tampa Bay next game. You're talking about two of the guys that were top 2 or 3 in the league in receiving yards and catches, and one's a tight end, like which is just crazy to me that you got a guy that big who can just almost lead the league in receiving behind Stephon Diggs. Let's talk a little bit about coaches though, and what we've heard today. We'll kind of go off script here. So we heard today that shocking, Deshaun Watson is demanding a trade out of the Texans now. So let's go again, kind of a couple scenarios we've heard on the interwebs and everything, but where do you see him going? What's the most likely scenario that you see?
Well, this was going to be my spicy hot take, but I think
Oh,
he's going.
geez, sorry.
I think he's going to the Niners.
Really?
Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously he has a no trade clause, so he can choose where he wants to go. I think. I honestly think Houston is the one that's leaking everything about him wanting to go to the Jets or the Dolphins. Yeah, Dolphins is nice. I mean, like I said, beach, nice weather. No income tax,
No
but
income tax. Yep.
I don't think they're ready to move on from Tua, and I don't know if they want to give up. They're drafting number 3, so if they were um, in love with the quarterback, I know at least with Watson you have a known commodity. I just don't see him waiving his no trade clause to go somewhere like that. I think um, if the Niners can get him with Shanahan's offensive mind and that defense getting some more pieces, I mean, they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So if you can get, I mean, Watson would be a huge upgrade over your guy, Jimmy G. So I think that's probably the best landing spot for him. Colts, things like that. I think they're probably be in the market for maybe Stafford or something like that.
Yeah, I really think that I think he's gonna go to Miami. I really do. I think not necessarily the Bill Barnwell trade that's gonna happen, but I think it may be Miami gives them, the number 3 pick and Tua, excuse me, for Deshaun Watson. I mean, you're giving up a quarterback, and then you're gonna you get the number 3 pick, so you can pick who will probably be there. Zach Wilson, is he projected to be 3
Yeah,
or?
either Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. That's kind of they're flip flopping between 2 and 3.
So I mean, you're still gonna pick up a quarterback that spot if you're um the Texans if you want. I mean, you still have Tua. You have Tua available too, so you could really have your pick of the litter is what you want. Maybe you get Devontae, what's his name, the kid out of
Devontae
Alabama,
Smith.
Devontae Smith. You have Tua as your quarterback, and Devontae Smith is your number 1 wide receiver. That could be a heck of a combo. But I think that it's going to really determine, and I think you're right. Houston is sending out all this kind of, I think, as interference to kind of throw the scent off of where he wants to go. He completely controls it. He's got a no trade clause, so they can say, well, we're going to trade you to Oakland. Nope, I don't want to go there. Okay, well, we'll find something else, I guess.
Right, because it's odd to me that every team that he's linked to has multiple first rounders. Like he doesn't care about that.
No.
He doesn't care. Oh, I'm going to make sure Houston gets their value for me. He does not care. He wants to go where he wants to go, and that's it. So everything, Jets and stuff like that, where they can do their 2-2s or their 2-1s this year, where they can break it up. He doesn't care about any of that. He's going to want to go where he wants to go. That's why I think the offensive mind with Shanahan, I think would be a great fit for him.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, he would definitely get an upgrade over what he's dealing with right now. So yeah, that's completely plausible, but who knows? It's the mystery that we won't probably find out till, I imagine, probably a little bit before the draft. I doubt they're gonna wait till after the draft to do this. Um, so let's talk a little bit about Bill Belichick. Okay, with Tom Brady winning this game and going to his 10th Super Bowl, does this prove that Tom Brady was better than Bill Belichick was as a coach, as a player, because Bill Belichick isn't there right now with him, and he's going to the Super Bowl, and Bill Belichick's at home watching this. So who's better? Is Bill Belichick the best coach, or is Tom Brady the best football player?
I go back and forth on this. I mean, obviously, anybody that's listened to the podcast knows that I'm a TB12 hater, so that's well known. Um, the thing with I would because originally I was saying Belichick, and then I'm like, well, like you just said, Brady's going to the Super Bowl with a whole new team. The problem is he's not taking the Jags or something like that. So I mean, uh, I mean, obviously, and hats off to him because he chose a great team. I think it was either I know they said the Bears, but come on, really? I think it was either the Bucks or the Colts based on their weapons, their defense, their O line, things like that. And then Bruce Arians just kind of takes the reign off and lets him do what he needs to do. So that being said, I mean, it's kind of hard also to say Belichick based on what the Patriots did this year, but they also led the league with opt outs for COVID. They're
Yeah.
trying to break in. Um, I don't even know why they got Cam Newton. Trying to break in Cam Newton in an offense that was built for Tom Brady for 20 years. They're not the same kind of quarterback. They're not going to be running the same kind of offense. So I mean that didn't mesh. Um, I think the best thing with Brady is that he's hid how bad New England is at drafting because
Yeah.
they've had nothing for 15 years. They've won early and then they've built their whole dynasty on cheap free agents that want to come play, do the Patriot way, things like that. So all that being said, I think it is, as much as it hurts to say, I think it is Tom Brady, just because Belichick hasn't shown that had any success without him.
And I agree with that. I 100% agree with that because if Bill Belichick was that great, we'd see them in the playoffs at least. I mean, at least make it to the playoffs, but they didn't. And like you said, the Cam Newton experiment, failed. Didn't help that he caught COVID like in the middle of the year, but still they built this offense with Josh Daniels for the last I don't know how many years he's been there. And it was all about Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's a finesse quarterback. He's not going to kill you with his bullet passes and his legs. Clearly, he's not going to do with his legs. And Cam Newton is a running quarterback. Well, he kind of is. I mean, he got hurt and he still kind of tries to run, but he tries to throw the ball through a brick wall every time. If you watch the game against the Packers, how many throws did Tom Brady have that just dropped right in a bucket and it just right in the receiver's arms, over the shoulder, perfect, nice arc on it. You don't see that from Cam Newton. I was actually watching, and I don't know why I was watching this. It was like on Facebook, I think, a Greg Olson like highlight reel of why the Bears ever get rid of him. And you see all the passes that Cam Newton threw to him when he was in Carolina. He was running like 5 yard ins and he was zipping the ball as hard as he can. I'm like, you don't need to do that. So I could see this year when he was doing that it wasn't working out for Cam Newton because he just, I mean, don't get me wrong, a guy who can throw the ball really hard is great and all, but you gotta have touch. If you don't have any touch, you're gonna never hit your receivers where they need to be. They're gonna be trying to catch the ball running as fast as they can instead of catching it in stride, or they're gonna be behind. They're just be behind them because you're throwing the ball so hard they're running past it. So yeah, the whole Bill Belichick Tom Brady thing I think got put to bed this year with him going to the Super Bowl. But let's get to our picks now, okay? All right. So last week, I believe I went 2-1. The only one I got wrong was the Buffalo game. I think I picked them +3. But I
Yeah.
picked Tampa Bay plus the 3 points, and they won. So this week we're doing a little extra stuff because we got a lot we can gamble on here with the Super Bowl. So let's start with the game itself. Tampa Bay versus Kansas City. Kansas City, I believe, is the home team because they are the better seed. So they are a -3 right now, and I haven't seen that change. I know DraftKings, I think, had it at 3.5, maybe 2.5. But FanDuel's had it at 3 pretty much the whole time. Uh, I am taking Tampa Bay plus the 3. I think they're going to win this game outright, and I think they're going to. I want to see Tom Brady go like right off. I'd love to see him right off in the sunset with one more Super Bowl and just retire, but I don't think that's going to happen regardless either way.
Yeah, I'm going the opposite. Kansas City -3. Kind of like we said, I don't think that they have the secondary that's going to be able to stop Kansas City's weapons. Even if you can somehow shut down Tyreek Hill, I don't know if is Watkins out. I know he's an afterthought in that offense, but
I believe
um,
Bell and Watkins are supposed to be playing now,
okay.
but for Tampa Bay, Antoine Winfield Jr. if he's out and the other I think safety they had, if those guys are out, then yeah, you're right, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, because I mean, basically, all Rodgers had to do was target Jamil Dean, and it would have been game over. But for whatever reason, they went away from him. So yeah, I can see they. I think Kansas City just has too many weapons, and I think three is just going to be too easy.
Okay. The coin flip. This is always one of the fun ones because it's a 50-50 chance. I'm going tails never fails, baby.
Oh my, what an idiot! It's easily going to be heads. It all depends on what they show. If they show heads when they flip it, it'll be heads.
Okay, okay. All right, Gatorade color. I think it's gonna be orange this year.
I like that. I'm going red. Both teams are kind of red and white, so I can see that.
Okay. National anthem over under a minute 57. Now, a minute 57 is how long it should take, just no extra long runs or anything to sing the national anthem. And I don't even know who's singing it this year. Do you know?
I was going to ask you that. I was looking it up to see for this, and then I think all I found was like "America the Beautiful" and it was like a duet or something. So I'm like, all right, well, no
Okay,
matter
hold
what
on.
it is, I don't think.
All right, I'm looking it up now because I need to know who is singing. Oh gosh, what popped up
Well,
here?
I'll say mine then over.
Mine's over too.
Yeah.
National anthem 2021 Super Bowl. Not 2020. No. Sorry, folks. This is one of those times where we don't really prepare very well. The weekend will officially headline the Pepsi halftime show. Uh, Sway Lee, whoever that is. Eric Church. Oh, Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan will sing the
Oh, that's
national
right.
anthem. That's it. Eric Church. So that's a country star. I imagine the other girl may be a country star too.
No,
I'm
R&B.
R&B. Okay. Well then she's gonna probably have a huge run and go over. So I'm gonna take the over as well. All right. Mahomes touchdown passes over under 2.5. Now these are just artificially made. I didn't look these up. These are just I plucked them out of the air to think, let's have some fun. I'll say over. He's probably gonna throw three.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over as well. I think three's probably the sweet spot.
All right. Tyreek Hill receiving yards over under 85. I'd say it's an easy over because their secondary probably won't be in good shape.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over on that as well. I think, like I said, with the secondary having injuries, things like that, and plus he's gonna get fed no matter what.
All right, Travis Kelsey receiving yards over under 75, which realistically we could probably set that at 100 because he's always just hitting 100 yards. I'm taking the under on that. I'm just going to kind of go opposite here and take the under, but I think he may have a strong chance to be the MVP because he might catch two or three of the touchdown passes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over on that one. I mean, Devin White and Levante David are probably one of the best linebacking duos in the league, but they also help a lot out in the run. So I can see them kind of cheating up and then Kelsey getting behind them for big gains.
Okay. Tom Brady over under two touchdown passes. I'm taking the over in that one. I could see it possibly being a shootout where the both quarterbacks have three touchdown or four touchdown passes each.
So I have under. Now that I think about it, I mean, I guess it's only over under. I wish you would have done 2.5 because I think he's gonna have two.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he's just gonna have two.
I will set it at 2.5.
All right,
Over under 2.5. So you're taking under? You
I'll
think he's
take
gonna
the
just
under.
two?
Yeah.
Okay, taking the under. Gronk catches. Now this is an interesting one because he only had one catch last game. It was a big catch, but he only had one catch. Over under catches, two. I'm taking the over on that one. I think he's gonna get worked into the game a little bit more than normal because it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm going over with you. I mean, I think um I mean, he's been there 10 times out of 20 years, but when it comes to the big lights, I think he's going to be looking towards Gronk, especially if, it's a close game late. They're going to feed him underneath.
Okay, Chris Godwin over under 65 yards receiving. I'm taking the over on that one. I think he's gonna be the number one receiver on the Bucks this game.
Yeah, I like that. I'm taking the over as well. I think they're going to do whatever they can to minimize Evans, and then they're kind of give Godwin a little more free reign.
Okay, and now we have a Super Bowl sleeper. I didn't have one on here. I just had to put one in because I had to think of one real quick. I'm gonna take Gronk is gonna score a touchdown. I mean, he's only scored a couple this year total, so it's highly plausible he doesn't. But it's a Super Bowl. It's the biggest game of the year. I have a feeling he's gonna score a touchdown.
I can see that. I mean, like I said with the over under on two, um, he's not quite as much as Brady's security blanket as he used to be. but I can still see him, Jimmy Graham style, big body in the red zone kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to see how much he was for scoring a touchdown. Um, my sleeper is Tom Brady throws a pick. I'll do a little baby one. I'm not gonna do throws a pick over 57 yards and a pick six or something like that crazy. Just a straight interception.
Just a straight interception. Well, he threw 3 last game. I mean, it's highly plausible he throws another one this game. Who knows? All right, now for our spicy hot take of the week. Now, Jimmy kind of already gave us his, so let's see if he can come up with one again off the top of his head. But my spicy hot take is that the Bears are going to let Allen Robinson go to free agency. I don't think they're going to tag him. I think they're going to just let him go because he wants so much money, and then we're going to be stuck with Darnell Mooney as our number 1 receiver and Anthony Miller and Javon Wims fighting other players for no reason.
Yeah, first real Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So let's see. So you did A-Rob. We'll just go. I think quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3 in the draft.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3. So right now it's supposed to be Trevor Lawrence at 1. Number 2 is supposed to be not Devonta Smith. Who's supposed to be number 2?
2 is Jets right now, so either Justin Fields or Zach Wilson.
And then 3 is Miami.
3 is Miami
or Houston.
or Houston. Whoever trades up.
Wow, can you imagine if Miami's picked a quarterback with Tua on the roster? That would be nuts.
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean,
be absolutely nuts.
The Cardinals did that with Josh Rosen, so
that poor
I guess
that poor guy. I feel so bad for him because he probably he probably could have been a starter, but they had no faith in him. I mean, and he had a crap team around him, so he never got a chance. And now he went from a number 1 pick, not last year, but the year 2019, right? Was it 2019?
Yeah.
2018. 2019 number top 10 pick.
Number 10, yep.
To a practice squad guy. I mean, the only one worse than that's Dwayne Haskins, and he's on a futures contract now, so at least he's got a chance maybe to be number 3.
Well, at least Haskins was a starter for a while. I mean,
that's true.
I mean, Rosen had, I guess he was a starter with the Cardinals. I think he's the 3rd stringer in San Francisco right now.
Okay. And then how about Big Ben wants to come back and play for the Steelers? And it sounds like he's willing to take a discount, because right now he's a $41 million cap hit. I don't know how much of a discount he's willing to take. I mean, they're going to be way over the cap.
Yeah, I seen a thing like the discount always makes me laugh because he's not taking less money. He said, "Oh, the 41 cap hit, just turn that into a signing. I'll let you turn that into a signing bonus. How's that?"
Yeah.
I mean, he's still getting his money, so
I'm doing you a favor.
Exactly.
You just keep paying me. Well, let's talk, and that's an unrelated football news. Let's talk a little bit about the stock market because this has got Jimmy and I. We're just all hot and bothered by this. So, any of you following GameStop or Nokia or Bed Bath and Beyond or what's the other one they were doing? AMC Theaters. These are all supposed to be pumped up by the Wall Street Bets Reddit group, and Big Brother took it down because they were tired of losing their money. So we saw some of the craziest trading happen ever in the last, I don't know how many years, all by people like you and me, just on their phones trading through Robinhood or whatever, TD Ameritrade, whatever app they had. And to see this get taken away from them in the middle of a crazy rush to get these shorts out of their money, it's sad. And I can't wait to see the movie when they make it, because what's going to happen. It'll be Adam McKay will make it, like The Big Short.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, not that we're big spenders in it, but there are a lot of people that had a lot of money tied up in these stocks, and they were, whether I don't understand how it could be market manipulation if it's us, but if it's a fancy hedge fund, then it's fine for them to do whatever they want with the market. I mean, it's one of those things that I think it's, for whatever reason, ever since, well, I shouldn't say ever since the 80s, way before then, but it just seems that divide of the haves and haves not is just getting larger and larger. And now when they go to do something like this, when it's basically all they're doing is stopping it, where all you can do is sell it, which I think has to be illegal. You can't buy any more. So they're going to drive down the price, and then tomorrow they said it's back to normal. So the only reason they're doing that is for the hedge fund people to get out.
Yeah.
Now that it's crashed, they can buy back in again, and start the process all over again.
Yep. So I hope those guys at Wall Street Beats do, they need to keep doing this because it's like a small revolution and I love it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to make money just like anyone else. And I think everyone should have a right to do that because if you can afford to get in the stock market, then you should be able to do that. But what they did today was absolutely deplorable. And I don't want to say it's not like someone inciting a riot, but when you have both sides of the aisle, AOC, Donald Trump Jr. are both like, whoa, this was bad. Like if Donald Trump Jr. says it's bad, think of what he's seen. Okay.
Right.
On Epstein Island. Okay. This is like awful. So that's all. We're not going to say any more about that because this is not a we could deep dive into this for the next like 2 to 5 hours because Lord knows we've talked about it all day. But that's it for us this week. We're gonna have another show next week with a little more Super Bowl stuff, possibly some more coaching moves could happen. I think they're all pretty much locked up, but we'll talk about that next week. Find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter at BJ's Fantasy Corner. Like and subscribe to the video down below. And everyone else, you have a great night and go Chiefs or Tampa Bay, whoever you like. But we're hoping for have another good Super Bowl this year in a weird pandemic year. So everyone have a good night.